Krishna Gopika Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the very nice chanting. Shivani Mataji, you want to get started or I'm not
Yes,
able
sure,
to?
Mataji. Sure. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। आनंद कोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय, नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर जी की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you all for joining this mid-morning session. This is Shivani from Ashburn, Virginia. Today, let us move to the next part of the session. Today's Krishna Katha series topic is on Krishna's appearance and disappearance amongst the Gopis, which will be given by His Grace, Acintya Gopesh Prabhuji. May I know who will have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Shivani Mataji, this is Preeti Vilasni Devitasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you for your warm welcoming and thank you Anjana Gopika Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you for joining and giving a beautiful association. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Anybody else who would like to introduce themselves? Preeti Mataji.
Yeah, start.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. Whether you are lusty or thief or a murderer or whatever it may be, somehow or other you must develop this eagerness, this desire. I must see Krishna. Then Krishna will be there. Los Angeles, August 15, 1972. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mataji, Anita Mataji put in the chat that she's not able to unmute.
Yeah, I know, I saw that. I don't think it's a technical issue. Is it? Other participants to unmute themselves.
Okay,
Are
do I
you
go?
able to? Yeah, now you're able to unmute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you for joining. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace, Acintya Gopesh Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on the Krishna appearance and disappearance amongst the Gopis. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Acintya Gopesh Prabhuji, thank you for your valuable time and association this morning. Waiting eagerly to hear from you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. I now hand over the call to you. Please take over. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Dandavat. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much. So we'll start with invocation prayers. Om Ajnanatimiranandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadave Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Jayatam Surator Pambo Momandamatel Gati Mat Sarvasva Padam Bodhu Radha Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone to this series of lectures that you are hearing on the 10th canto, especially on the auspicious appearance of Krishna, Janmashtami. So tomorrow, most of the parts of the world will be celebrating Janmashtami. So in that series, we are looking at different speakers have spoken about different leelas and different pastimes from the 10th canto. Today, we are going to focus on what we are titling as the appearance, disappearance, and reappearance of Krishna amongst the Gopis. The idea is to look at this lecture will not be too much about the rasa side of things. The lecture will be more about the spiritual background of Krishna's dealings with the Gopis and how he appeared, disappeared, and reappeared in front of the Gopis, drawing from the Pancharasa Adhyaya, from chapters of the 10th canto from 29 to 33. We are not going to go deep into the Ras Leela. I am not qualified to speak about that. Neither will I try and attempt. Of course, we will take an overview of all those chapters as per Bhagavatam and different Acharyas' commentary. But the important thing in this lecture would be to really talk about the spiritual truths and some of the backgrounds of why this Leela happened and what are things we can learn from the Leela. So with that, and with also the disclaimer that there are very, very senior devotees here, I pray for their mercy and all our spiritual masters, because this is a very high topic. But the reason why we chose this topic is because it is core to our parampara. So I beg for all your mercy, prayers, and your mercy, so that I can speak on this topic. So we have been listening to how the Lord is appearing, and you have heard lectures on Krishna's appearance, prayers of the demigods, and we are setting our mood towards welcoming the Lord into our hearts and also celebrating Janmashtami. And on that occasion, this particular discussion specifically on how Krishna appeared to the Gopis and then disappeared and then reappeared to the Gopis is a very interesting discussion. So we will start the discussion, and like I always do, I ask questions and then we proceed on to those discussions. So this is something that you would have, those who have been hearing my lectures would have heard parts of what I'm going to say today, but I'm bringing it all together to largely explain the background of this pastime. So we'll start with the usual question that I'm sure you have discussed in the previous classes, which is, why does Krishna have to appear? And that's the general thing we start with. So why does Krishna have to appear in this material world? Of course, he chooses to appear, but what is the reason for his appearance? Can somebody
Hare
answer?
Krishna
Yes.
Prabhu, yada yada hi dharmasi glanir bharata abhyatanam
Yes.
adharmasi tadatmanam srijanam.
Abhyutanam tadatmanam srijanam. So one of this is to establish the religious principles. Fine.
And to attract his devotees to himself.
Yes, very nice.
And to give them so that they can serve him and come back to him.
Very nice. Anybody else wanted to say something?
Haribol Prabhuji.
Haribol.
It says, Anarpit Charim Chirat Karuna Avtarev Kalo. So Bhakti se Munnat Ujjalasam Samarpayitum. That's how also he comes, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Yes. Unnata Ujjwala Rasam. To provide the Unnata Ujjwala Rasam. So nice. So, Devgan Prabhu, you were saying something?
I'm sorry, Prabhuji.
No, Devgan Prabhu, I think you get unmuted. Did you
Okay.
want to say that? No.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I just want
Hare
to say Krishna come here to give the mercy to all of devotees.
Mercy to all of this. Very nice. So these are, and all the perspectives are right?
Hare
So
Krishna Prabhu.
yes, bro. Yes. Are you saying something? So there are various perspectives. He comes to establish dharma. Then the question can be asked, and I'm just, all are right perspective. I'm just for the discussion countering some of that. Question can be asked, oh, there are many of devotees of the Lord, also so many Vaishnavas who are coming and they are establishing dharma, right? So what is the necessity of Krishna to come himself, right? And then we say Vinashayata Dushkritam, to kill the demons. And then the question comes that he can kill the demons just by blinking the eye from there. Why does he have to come down to this material world? Then we say to protect his devotees, and like you said, to give mercy to his devotees. So there I'm asking the other question. So if he has to give mercy to the devotees, he can appear in front of that devotee like he appeared for Dhruva Maharaj. He gave a personal darshan. And once he gives personal darshan, and then he gives them the highest forms of bhakti, and he draws them back home, back to God. So Krishna can give personal darshan to the devotees he wants to take home. Why does he have to descend and do this entire Leela? What is the necessity of that? Hare Krishna,
Hare
Anita
Krishna Prabhu,
Mother.
I just attempt. Krishna, he also wants to enjoy his pastimes with his devotees. So
Correct.
and also so that we get the opportunity to speak about the Lord. So
Yes.
that's what I wanted to say.
Correct. Very nice. Essentially, Krishna is giving an opportunity to his devotees to engage in pastimes with him. That is correct. And that is the right answer. But I'll just dig a bit deeper into this. Why does he want to engage in he is always engaging in the pastimes in the spiritual world with his devotees. So why does he want to come into the material world here and enact those pastimes? Of course, they are non-different, but what is the necessity to enact pastimes in the material world?
Hare Krishna
So,
Prabhuji. He wants to spend the time with his devotees.
He wants to spend the
Time with his devotees.
Time with his devotees. Yes, he wants to spend the time with his devotees.
He enjoys the love that he gets from his devotees, that the sweetness of his love he wants to taste, and so for that he comes.
Yes, he comes to taste the sweetness of love. Anjana Mataji, yes, you are saying something?
Yes, Prabhuji. He wants to also show his Leela to conditional souls so that we can get purified by hearing the pastime of the Lord.
Yes, that is also correct. He is extending his Leela to the conditioned souls. Of course, the conditioned souls don't have access or they cannot see the spiritual pastimes, which are Nitya Leela, which are going on. It is there in Vrindavan, but the curtain of Maya is there, so we are not able to see. So now, then there is another thing. These conditioned souls, depending on their type of bhakti, have different moods. Those who are in the Aishwarya mood go to Vaikuntha. But there are some special devotees who develop love for Krishna, which is Madhurya love, and also within that, conjugal love. Madhurya rasa, which is very sweet. We know that Vaikuntha is like the office of Krishna. We have explained that many times. And Vrindavan is like the home. And in home, there is no officialness. You might be a CEO, you might be a commissioner, you might be a big thing. But when you come home, people in the home don't treat you like a commissioner or a police officer. The kid just jumps on the head of the father and they play with a intimacy. There is a love. There is a sweet love, which does not have any Aishwarya. And if there are devotees who love Krishna like that without Aishwarya, then they cannot go to Vaikuntha. There needs to be a special planet. This was the question I think Mother Uttara asked Parikshit Maharaj in Brihad Bhagavatamrit after he had heard Bhagavatam before Takshak was going to bite him. She asked, these devotees who have this special love for Krishna, which planet do they go? They should have a separate planet and they should have a separate way of loving Krishna, because they cannot go to these Vaikunthas or Ayodhya or Mathura or Dwarka, and where this kind of love doesn't exist. Because this is different. So Parikshit Maharaj gave a very elaborate answer in Brihad Bhagavatamrit. And the essence of that is the topmost planet is Golok Vrindavan, and these devotees actually enter Golok Vrindavan. Now, if devotees have to enter Golok Vrindavan, they should develop this deep love for Krishna in this Madhurya Rasa. And for these conditioned souls to develop this deep love is not a very easy thing. Unless they come in touch with devotees of Krishna who have that love, it is very difficult for them to develop that love. So, Krishna enacts the pastimes of coming into this world along with his devotees who have that love, like Radharani, Lalita Sakhi, Vishaka Sakhi, all the Gopis. Only in their association can a conditioned soul which is aspiring for conjugal love can fully develop this rasa, Unnada Ujjvala rasa, which Prabhuji was saying. So he has to appear, right? Sorry, was somebody saying something? So he has to personally appear, because the virus of love only transmits from one person's heart, which has this to the other person. So he has to personally appear to these people, and by personally appearing to these people, he has to develop their love. Right? So now let us look at this. Who are these people? Who are these qualified devotees for whom Krishna comes? We know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadum Varge Naya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabho Rasmatamidam Tatradaro Naparaham Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. The Lord whom we love and worship is not the Lord of Dwaraka, not the Lord of Mathura, but Vrajesha Tanaya. Vrajesha is Nanda Maharaj, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Vrajendra Nandan Krishna. He is the Lord of our heart. And Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Taddama Vrindavan. His Dhamma is Vrindavan. And all of this we are going to see in this entire pastime. And how to go to that Golok Vrindavan? Ramya Kanchitupasana Vrajavadum Varge Naya Kalpitam. The way the Gopis, the devotional path followed by the Gopis and how they worshipped and loved Krishna, that is the path that one has to follow. And Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam, the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially these 5 chapters that we are going to summarize, is the proof of that. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradaro Napara. This is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions, which we are going to see today. So first thing we established is Krishna comes primarily for his devotees. He can personally appear to his devotees, but he comes and does Leela especially for those, among his devotees also, especially those devotees whom he has to invoke a certain kind of love. And even among those devotees, specifically for this Madhurya devotees, for whom he has to personally come. If there is a lover, the lover has to personally come and associate. And more importantly than him, the other is supremmost Nityasiddha devotees who have that conjugal love for Krishna, like Srimati Radharani, have to come And the conditioned souls, when they associate with them, that is when they fully develop this Madhurya Rasa. So it can be argued that while Krishna appears, like tomorrow he is going to appear, and he will appear in the jail of Kamsa, and then he will come to Gokula from one story's person point of view, and from other Acharya's point of view, he was born in Gokula. The important thing is him appearing for dharma, him appearing for killing the demons, him appearing even for taking his devotees back, for giving mercy to his devotees. More than all of that, he's performing this Leela specifically to train and attract his conjugal devotees. So this is the first point we are making. Now, who are these devotees who are aspiring for conjugal love? There are 6 types of them. Can somebody tell me who are these devotees? Who are conditioned souls but are aspiring for conjugal loving relationship with Krishna? Can anybody name them? Yes, Sudhakar bro.
I'm just guessing that it is, I think all the Rishis and the Munis during the Ramavatar, they aspired and in that era, and this is the time Lord Krishna is trying to engage them. This is what I understood.
Correct. Yes. Absolutely right. Those are Rishichari Gopis. Those are one of the 6 types. Yes. Rishichari Gopis, Munichari Gopis who aspired, who are there in the Ramlila. We'll speak about that. We know that Krishna in his Brajendra Nandan form, in his original form, comes only once in the day of Brahma. He comes once in the day of Brahma, and which means in 1000 Chaturyugas, he comes once. Why he comes only once? Because this, to develop this conjugal love across many yugas, many devotees practice, and finally in the middle of Brahma's day, in the 27th Chaturyuga of the 7th Manu, Krishna comes exactly like in almost like the midday, almost when, and then he attracts all these people who are wanting to develop conjugal love. So one of them, like Prabhuji mentioned, we know that when Lord Ramchandra, along with Sita ji and Lakshman, was entering the forest, and Kamba describes this very beautifully. He describes Dandakaranya forest, a very dark forest, where even the light of the sun doesn't enter, right? And one ray of sunlight, he describes, comes through the trees and falls on a mirror-like silky hairs of Lord Ram. Lord Ram is walking, I think, in the front, and his silky mirror-like hair, there the rays come and touch, and Sita ji, who's walking behind, her face is reflected on the mirror-like forehead, on the back head of Lord Ram. And Lakshman is walking, and like that they are walking through the Dandakaranya forest. And when they enter, there are more than 10,000 rishis meditating. Somebody is hanging from the tree, somebody has his nose cut off, somebody has ear cut off, somebody doesn't have one hand, somebody is standing on one leg, and they are doing Ghor Tapas. Now, as Lord Ramchandra enters, when he is far away itself, a sweet cooling effect comes into their heart. They have been meditating, but suddenly such sweetness and cooling effect comes into their heart. They can almost feel the consciousness rising, and they can see that somebody else is coming, and then they open their eyes, and then they see the beautiful form, the greenish form of Lord Ramchandra, with Sita ji on the side and Lakshman ji, and he standing, and he is only wearing the deer skin, deer bark, which is naturally left over by the deers, and some people remove it after the deers are dead, and that is dried, and that deer skin is what the hermits wear. And when the rishis see the Lord in such a beautiful form, in beautiful greenish form, their sense of love awakens, and they pay their obeisances, and they pray to Lord Ram that we want to be with you, and we want to be in the same kind of love with you as Sita ji has love with. And I'm making it short, but the Lord replies that in this avatar, I'm Ekapatni Vrata, I will only marry one person. But in the next avatar, you can come. When I take avatar as Krishna, you can all come as Gopis. So these rishis have spent millions and millions of lifetimes to become devotees. And then they have done 10,000 years of tapasya to see Lord Ram. And then they are told to wait few million years more when they can be born as Gopis. And they become Rishichari Gopis, one of the newly recruited Gopis who come into Vrindavan. So when these new set of Gopis come, they need to be trained, and their love has to be condensed, made into more condensed, like you boil the milk and become more condensed, for them to enter the pastimes of Goloka. So Rishichari Gopis are one set of Gopis who come. Who are the other set of Gopis? Yes, Gauri.
Shruti-chari Gopis. Veda, the verses of the Vedas.
Yes. Vedachari Gopis, Devakanyas. Yes, somebody said Devakanya.
And Nitya, from the Nitya Loka, all the Ashtasakhis.
There are Nitya Siddha Gopis. So they are we are talking about Sadhana Siddha Gopis. Nitya Siddha Gopis, Radharani, along with all her associates, Lalita, Shiki, Vishaka, Shaki, they come and they are the main trainers. Because of association with them, that they get trained. So Devakanyas are there. You spoke about Shrutichari Gopis or Vedas themselves. So what happens is, and you can see this, the last chapter of the 10th canto is Vedas praying to Krishna. After the Vedas see these Ras Leela and all the other pastimes, they have been glorifying Krishna. But the personified Vedas, when they see these pastimes of Krishna, their heart melts, and they just want to enter these pastimes. So please imagine, if you are Vedas, if you are personality of Vedas, every part of you is glorifying Krishna. So you are such an intimate devotee of Krishna. But when they see Gopis dancing with Krishna and Gopis love, they feel, oh, all glorification that we are doing is nothing. We have to become like the Gopis and enter the pastimes of Krishna. So they pray, and they then do multiple thousand years of meditation and tapasya, and the Vedas themselves come as Gopis into the Vrindavan pastimes here, the Bulok Vrindavan here, when Krishna expands his pastimes. Those are Shrutichari Gopis or Vedachari Gopis. The other, somebody said here, one more type. Can you repeat? Devakanya are there. Also spoke about, one of you spoke, yes, Radha Prabhu.
What I had is the women and the girls in the Mithila during the Ram's visit also expressed the similar love. Yeah.
Yes, very correct. Mithilachari Gopis. So when Lord Ramchandra came into Mithila to along with Vishwamitra and Lakshmanji, and he was walking the streets of Mithila, and he was coming to the Swayamvar. And when the ladies of Mithila saw Lord Ram, they were thinking, oh, who is this beautiful prince? Who is this prince? We want to marry him. We want to be with him. So, and when Sita ji married, they also had the desire to be with Lord Ram, and all those Mithilachari Gopis came into the Vrindavan. So the point is that many very advanced but newly recruited devotees who have been aspiring in the previous yugas for this conjugal love have come, and they have to be trained. Now, if they have to be trained, like that if you have to train for certain, you have to train for science, you have to have a science college. You have to like medical, you'll have a medical laboratory and medical college. You have to train for love, then that also love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then there should be the proper place. That is when Krishna told Radharani that I am going to go and take an avatar in the material world, you also come. She knew Krishna's desire. She always understands Krishna's desire. And that is her desire that Krishna is fulfilling. So to get the new gopis trained and bring them back to Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world, and she knows that it cannot be done without the right setting, which is Vrindavan itself. So she put the condition that I will only go if you can take Vrindavan, Yamuna, and Govardhan to the material world. So obviously it is not this thing, it's an expansion. So the Krishna expanded his Vrajadam, or in other words, made the Vrajadam visible in the material sphere. And that is the Vrindavan that we visit. And that setting with Govardhan, the soft sand of Vrindavan, and also Yamuna flowing, in that place, Krishna and Srimati Radharani and all the other gopis like Srimati Lalita Sakhi, Srimati Vishakha Sakhi, and all the gopis, the Nitya Siddha gopis who have come, few of them to train, they all appeared one by one. Like we will after 15 days, you will see there is Radha Ashtami and Lalita Sakhi is already, Lalita Shashti has happened, and then all of those gopis appear. Now, so second point we have established that it is for training of these 6 different sets of gopis, newly recruited but very advanced devotees who are pursuing conjugal love. And for that, Krishna has to come, and not just Krishna, but Srimati Radharani and others have to come, by associating with whom this mood of conjugal level can be developed. Now what happens? Now we enter into the next set of things, which is that as this love progresses, each of these people take birth in different forms of Braja. The Rishичari gopis, the Vedachari gopis, all of them are taking birth in different places in Braja. And there are also Braja Jana gopis who take birth in different households of Braja. There are different types of gopis. But outlaw them when they take birth, and when from the childhood itself they are hearing about Krishna. They are everybody around them is chanting the names of Krishna. So always first connection with Krishna is the names of Krishna, then the pastimes of Krishna they have been hearing. And when they grow slightly older, they are seeing around 7:30, 8 o'clock the morning with all 9 lakh first initially with the calves. This beautiful boy wearing wonderful peacock feathers and playing the flute is walking across the village. He meanders across every gully in the village and he goes to the forest. And then the gopis see, and when they see their Purvarag, their entire love comes up. What they have meditated and the love they have developed, and that love again comes up, and now seeing Krishna, it matures. And they start getting attracted to Krishna. And like described Krishna taking his cows. Barha pitan natavarabapu karnayo karnikaram vibradvasha kanakakapishan vaijayantin chamalam gandran veno radarasudaya purayan gopavrindai Vrindaranyam Sopadaраmanam Pravishagita Kirti. Wearing Barha Pitan, the peacock feathers, as if an actor is going to dance on the stage. He has the crown of peacock feathers, Barha Pitan, Natavarabapu, like a dancer on the stage. Karnayo Karnikaram. He has this long conical Karnikara flowers, right? These Karnikala flowers on each of the ear. And we have discussed this many times. Why is the Karnikara flowers there? What is the reason for having Karnikara flowers? Many reasons we have discussed in the previous classes. Krishna, when he's walking into the forest, he's indicating to the gopis which side he goes. So if he has the flower like this, he's going north, like this, he's going south. Left hand is this, he's going whatever east, like this, he's going south, he's going west. So the direction he's indicating, and this beautiful Karnika flowers he will wear this year or this year, he will wear, and thereby gopis will know which direction he's going to go. And all the gopis are watching from the different houses, from the rooftops, and so on and so forth. And this beautiful Krishna and Balram are walking. And even before that, the Nitya Leela describes when he wakes up and he goes out from his house to milk the cows. From their respective villages, they climb up to the biggest tower. And from there, they are seeing Krishna walking out of his house, going into the Goshala and milking the cows. So then they peep and they look at Krishna and his beautiful face, his beautiful, way he milks, the way he ties up with dhoti when he milks, all this attracts the gopis. And the love begins to mature. And then there are a host of things that happens. They cannot see Krishna perpetually, continuously. They can only see him for 3 hours somewhere in the forest, somewhere. Then Govardhan Leela happens. When Govardhan Leela, Krishna specifically lifts the mountain to protect the gopis and all the Vrajavasis. Then what happens is that they can see Krishna 7 days, 7 nights continuously. And Krishna is glancing at them, smiling at them, he's joking with them. All the pastimes are happening continuously. They feel more, they get more engrossed in love with Krishna. And then they do the Katyayani Vrata, where they pray Katyayani Mahamaye Mahadevi Adeshwari, Nandasuna Sudam Devi, Patim Me Kurume Tamaham. Please make the son of Nanda my husband. They pray in the Katyayani Vrata, 1 month Katyayani Vrata, early morning going and bathing. Their mother say, no, you can't do that. You're very young. You cannot bath in the cold water. But they go, they take bath, they make the doll, Katyayani doll, and they eat only Havishya and they pray. And then to fulfill the desire of accepting them as wife or making him the husband, then Krishna goes and does the Chir Haran Leela. He steals their dresses and they have to all surrender to Krishna and come out of the water without wearing their dresses and thereby surrendering him to as a husband. And then Krishna promises that I will exchange rasa with you and we will enjoy pastimes. He promises. And after that, almost a year passes when the gopis are constantly, by the time the love has matured so much and they have accepted Krishna as their husbands, and by that time Brahma Vimona Leela has also happened. They are also doing Brahma Vimona Leela, as you know the pastime. Initially, everybody wants their daughters to be married to Krishna. So Yashoda Maya already puts the yellow haldi on the hands of Radharani, thereby asking her mother for Radharani's hand for marrying Krishna when she comes to cook for Krishna in the morning. All of this has happened. But before the marriage, the Brajavasis consult Purnamasi, who's staying away from Braja, and she is like the guru of all the Brajavasis. So when they talk to Purnamasi, of course, Purnamasi is also Yogamaya orchestrating all these pastimes. She knows that Vrindavan is for conjugal, is for Parakya Rasa. And if Krishna and Radharani are married, there is no Parakya, it becomes Sakya. So she says that no, these gopis cannot marry Krishna. You have to find some other husbands for them. And she instructs other people. But she says, wait, I will tell you when to get married. And when the opportune time comes, when Brahma has stolen all the calves and all the covered boys, and Krishna expands as the covered boys, but in different forms. And when he comes home, and 1 year Krishna is playing the part of different cowherd boys. Then Purnamasi says, now you get everybody married. You get Radharani married to Abhimanyu Gopa, this person to this Gopa, that Gopa. So she gets all of them married. So effectively, all of them are married to Krishna, but the bhava is that they are married to some Abhimanyu and XYZ and other Gopas. So parakya can happen. So all these pastimes have happened. Love has been condensing. It has become so much that Chirhar and Leela has also happened. And then Krishna's promise, finally, that day comes where this entire 29th chapter begins. Where after going through millions of years of becoming devotee and then thousands of years of tapasya in places like Dandakaranya, and then millions of years of waiting, and then entering into Krishna Leela, being brought in Vrindavan, and then seeing Krishna, the form Krishna as Madan Mohana. So the Madan Mohan form attracts the Gopis when he's going for the Gocharan Leela, and then after doing Govardhan Leela, then the Brahma Vimohan Leela, then Kartyayani Vrata, then Chirharan, and they are so much in love with Krishna. And they also have this, bhava that they are actually married to somebody else, and all of this is churning in their heart. Then, by the point of age, Krishna was about 7 or 8 years old. But Krishna exhibited at a certain age, he can also exhibit the characteristic of a different age. But from a bodily form perspective, he was looking like a 16 and a half year old young boy. But his actual age from a duration of appearance on this planet was around 7 or 8 years. But he was like a 16-year-old boy. Then he played the flute. On that particular night, and if you go into the verses, I'll see if I can pull out the verses. We'll just go into 1 or 2 verses. Are you following so far? Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So, chapter 29. I'll just project the verses. We'll only go into 1 or 2 verses. So this is the first verse of the 29th chapter when the Rasa Panchadhyaya begins. Shri Bhadrayani Ruvacha Bhagavan Pita Ratri Sharadotfulla Mallikaha Vikshyarantam Manaschakre Yogamayamupasritaha. Translation purport by His Divine Grace is from the Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I don't know. By disciples of Prabhupada. Shri Bhadrayani said, see, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in all affluences. Yet upon seeing those autumn nights scented with blossoming jasmine flowers, he turned his mind towards loving affairs. To fulfill his purposes, he employed his internal potential. Now, look at the setting. It is the months of Bhagavan Api Taratri. It is the nights of the autumn season. I'll come to Taratri, it's a very deep explanation. But the setting is the night of the autumn, where the full moon is there, and the jasmine flowers, the Kumuda flowers specifically, are flowering. Such a sweet scent is there. Even in the night, they are not closing. It is the sweet scent and aroma is there. It is by the banks of Yamuna, and the cool breeze is flowing, and there is this lovely forest with blossoming flowers. And when Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of all affluences, who does not need any external things to enjoy, he is fully fully Atmaramaha. He has all enjoyment in himself. He doesn't have to go out and associate with anybody for any enjoyment. But even Bhagavan Api, even that Lord, or also that Lord, which means that Gopis had this desire, which we have been describing, but the Lord also had the desire to reciprocate the rasa with the Gopis. And Bhagavan Api Taratri, in those nights, while it was one night, but for Bhagavan to exchange rasa that one night of 12 hours is not enough. So he brought millions of nights into that one night. It was an entire day of Brahma that passed in that one night, but it appeared like one night. All the Taratri, all those Ratris came into that one night. And at that point in time, where the jasmines were blossoming, Sharada in the seas of the autumn, Vikshya Rantum Manaschakra. It is not that it was just an external show of dancing with the gopis. While he was internally, in his internal heart, in his Manas Chakra, when he places a desire into his internal heart, then all of that manifests. He is Satya Sankalpa. Yoga Mayam Upashrita. He had that desire internal heart, and by the potency of Yoga Maya, the pastime started to manifest. So here is where the pastime starts. And Krishna is desiring, after all of this has happened, and for that desire, what he does is he starts to play the flute. What Krishna does is, Krishna starts playing the flute. And I'm being just giving a brief summary because the purpose of this lecture is to give the background. And when he plays the flute, you can imagine so many millions and trillions of years of churning, and the love, having seen Krishna, having behold his beautiful face, his long arms, and his wonderful bluish countenance. The love has churned so much. As soon as Krishna plays the desire, and the desire is transferred, how do you transfer the desire? The desire of the heart comes out in the airs, and that blows through the flute, and that emotion travels in that song. And as it entered the ears of the gopis, the entire hearts started to get churned, and such a violent eruption of love happened in their hearts that they could not withhold themselves. And here it is said in the next few verses that Krishna actually stole the mind of the gopis, which means that whether the gopis are doing right or wrong, there is no material consideration to it, because karma comes through the mind. If the mind itself has been taken away by Krishna, like Krishna took control of Arjuna's chariot or intelligence, Krishna took control of their minds, he completely stole their minds. So there is no consideration on the behalf of gopis whether they are doing the right thing or the wrong thing. They just started running from where they were. And as the description is there, some people were milking the cows, some of them were feeding their child. They left the child, they left the cow somewhere with their husbands, they left, some they were preparing some prasadam, they left that. They started to run out of their houses. They started to run so clandestinely into the forest. They saw even one or the other gopis running, but they hid their intentions from each other also, and secretly they started running. Some of the gopis were stopped and they escaped. Very few of them could not escape. And where they could not escape, here in the purport it said that some they said that they were locked, so they left their bodies and their spiritual bodies went to Krishna. And in some of the Bhaktivedanta, the purports in Bhagavatam, here it is said that Krishna helped them manifest a material body and left that material body with their husbands or wherever who they are captured, and they came to Krishna in their spiritual body. And all of these obstacles enhance their deep craving for Krishna. When they were stopped, their heart started to churn even more and more and more. So it's not that the pastimes of Yogamaya are cruel or Krishna's dealings are cruel, but these pastimes help in churning the rasa. And Krishna, as Krishna will explain later, his primary objective is to churn the rasa. And like that, when this happened, then the gopis came rushing into the forest. Krishna was greeted them with folded hands and said, "Thank you for coming, but this is not good for you. I hope you are okay, you are all comfortable, but this is not good for you to come in the middle of the night like this. There are many animals here. This is a very dangerous place, and you left your husbands, your family. Not good for you to do that. So please go back." Now, this is another way of churning the rasa. When the Gopis heard this, their hearts, they felt a lot of pain. They were heartbroken. That this Krishna who's calling them and whose desire we heard and we have come is now speaking to us, rejecting us like this. And this is after so many million years, which they might have remembered not at all. But the Gopis said that, "Oh Lord, this is not right to call young girls in the middle of the night here, and we cannot go back. We are here to fulfill your desire." The key thing here is when the Gopis ran, and that is what Srila Vishwanath, many others explain in detail, that they were not thinking, "Oh, I need to see Krishna because I want to see Krishna, because I want to enjoy Krishna." It was not about them. That is, when it puts into I and it what satisfying your own senses, it becomes kama, lust. For them, it was about, oh, in the flute, in the sound of the flute, we can detect, and women can especially detect, the desire is that Krishna wants to enjoy with us, and to fulfill his Krishna's desire, we will go. We will not stop. If Krishna has a desire, their entire life is surrendered to Krishna. They ran. So they have come because of love, which is to fulfill Krishna's senses, that is love. So they come for love, and they said, "We are here to satisfy ourselves. We cannot go back." And this conversation, it's a very beautiful conversation. We don't have time today to go into it, but there are many deep philosophical things. And there were this conversation, and finally Krishna relented, and they started seating Krishna with all shawls, anointing him with different scents, and they were starting to enjoy with Krishna. Now, even now, after so much, their hearts were still not prepared for the exchange of rasa, especially this Madhurya rasa. So Krishna did something else. There are various ways. Now the pastimes from here are 2-3 tracks. Please try and listen carefully. There are various ways this is explained. In one way of explaining this is this way, that by looking at the mana of Radharani, where it is described, and that is the external description in Bhagavatam also, that Radharani saw that, oh, so many new gopis are there, and Krishna is enjoying with them, and I am also placed among those gopis, and I am almost like an equal level. So she developed some mana and she disappeared from the rasa dance. And when she disappeared, then when the pleasure potency herself disappears, there is no pleasure in the rasa. And without Radharani, there can never be any pleasure, because every gopi is an expansion from Radharani. The primary energy, the pleasure potency, is what gives pleasure to the Rasaraj Krishna, who's the abode of pleasure, who's Rasaraj, who's exchanging rasa for pleasure. Radharani disappeared, then to search after Radharani, Krishna also disappeared. And when Krishna disappeared from their midst, the gopis understood, oh, we developed a pride that of all the living entities, we are the ones who have Krishna by our side, because each gopi felt that Krishna is only by their side. So they developed this pride, and Krishna disappeared. This is one layer of the pastime. But there are questions. Radharani came to train them, so why will she get envious, or why she was playing in mana? The other way of explaining this, which some acharyas have done, is that Radharani saw, and Krishna also saw, that the hearts of these gopis have to be churned further for them to develop more condensed conjugal rasa. And Krishna will also say this later. So this Krishna and Radharani had decided, so Radharani disappeared. Or taking Radharani, Krishna disappeared from the Ras Leela and started walking away. When gopis saw that Krishna has disappeared, they were distraught. They were, after so much of love, they found Krishna. Krishna has disappeared. They were like mad women searching after in the forest, asking the trees, asking the animals. They were searching. This is in a state of viraha. This viraha is pre-conditioned before prema becomes hard. Even in the seventh sloka of Shikshashtakam, you Govinda Virahena me. After that, you will have prema. That Ashli Shiva Padaratam Vinashtama, Adarshanan Manamatan Prabhutva, Itatava Vidat Kamprato, Mat Prananatas Saiva Napara. Mat Prananata Saiva Napara, that all that prema comes after Pela Viraha happens. So in this fire of Viraha, the condensation happens. And they start searching after they see two set of footprints, Krishna's and other gopis. Then they say the famous sloka, they say, oh, this gopi, Aradhanam Sarvesham. This particular gopi would have worshipped Krishna so much because they are seeing it from their experience. They have worshipped so much to come. So this gopi would have worshipped so much that she's so exclusive. Thus Krishna has taken her and to enjoy with her and has left all of us behind. So they start following the footsteps. Then they see that Krishna, there are 4 steps of footsteps. Then after some time, they see there are only 2 footsteps, but a little more deeper. Then they say that Krishna must have lifted this gopi in his arms. And that is why, and in some other place, they see a footprints only of the toes. So Krishna would be plucking flowers to decorate this gopi. Right? Like that, they are, postulating, and they are going ahead and ahead. And here also, pastimes is described in 2 ways. One way it said that Radharani develops this man that Krishna is only with me, and she says, I cannot walk further. Carry me carry me wherever you want me to go. And when she speaks with that pride, Krishna says, okay, you can sit on my shoulders. And he says that and he disappears. That is one side of the pastime. The other side of the pastime is also he carries her on the shoulder, goes to a place and turns into a lion, and there is that pastime which is a different pastime, which I won't get into, which leads to Radharaman, how he appears as Radharaman and how Radharaman appears on Narsim Chaturdashi from the Saligram. So that's a different pastime. That is Seva Kunj and Radharaman. The other one which is important for us is Radharani realizes that I have come here to train all these gopis. Now, if these gopis catch up and they see me with Krishna, they will become envious. And this envy will not help them attain love for Krishna. So I have to do something. So she requests Krishna. Then Krishna disappears from there. And she sits on the rock and starts crying. And what Bhagavatam describes is Krishna disappears and she becomes like mad and she's searching after Krishna. She starts crying. And when she's crying, there is the conversation that Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur describes that Gopi Krishna, Radharani says, why have you gone? Why have you gone? I cannot live without you. So Krishna says, so what? You know these places, you know how to go in this forest. Why do you need me? He says, no, I cannot live without you. I cannot, my only existence is to serve your desires, and without you, I cannot be there. He said, if that was so, why did you talk so roughly and said, you carry me, I won't be able to travel? So she said, I was very tired. I didn't know what I was saying. He said, okay, I will appear before you. And then Radharani says, oh, I cannot see you because my eyes are blocked by this viraha and this lamentation. And like this conversation going on by the time the gopis catch up. Or in other words, Radharani asks Krishna to go away and she's crying and the gopis catch up. And the gopis see. And Radharani then starts to express her humility, and in that humility starts to transform the hearts of the gopis. She says, the gopis come and say, oh, what has happened? And she says, oh, I have been very, very harsh. I was very much full of pride. I asked Krishna that I cannot walk, you should carry me. And because of that pride, he disappeared. Gopis also get a hint that because of pride, Krishna goes away. And then they say, oh, we will search after him. Then they see that the forest is very dense. Moonlight also doesn't go in. Then under the instruction, there it is said, one gopi says, we can imagine that must be Radharani. or otherwise. They said that let's not go deeper into the forest. Like that, walking behind Krishna, you cannot find Krishna. Let's go back to the shores of Yamuna. And they go to the shores of Yamuna, and there Radharani teaches them the most important way of attracting Krishna. There they sing and they sit and do Sankirtan. They sing the Gopi Geet, and they are expressing their love for Krishna. And each of them gets into that mode. Their consciousness starts to almost imitate Krishna. That is, see, Krishna appears. It is not just Krishna to see Krishna, but you have to. That conjugal love will make Krishna appear in the heart, and that is another lecture we have already spoken on how Krishna in separation appears in the hearts of gopis. So they are singing Gopi Geet, and each of the Gopi Geetas is very different meanings. We cannot go into all the parts of Gopi Geet today, but we will just see when they are singing in separation, and they are also singing in a different sense. For example, and it is said that only Sridhar Swami can understand. Sridhar Swami has written extensive commentaries. Sridhar Swami could understand a bit of what the gopis feel, and obviously the other acharyas who have written extensive commentary like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and others. But the acharyas have dwelt into these songs of the gopis very, very deeply. Just to give you a sense, when gopis sing, they say something and they are indicating something else. So what conversation is happening between the gopis and Krishna is very difficult to understand. So like this sloka, it says, Nakhalu gopika nandano bhavan akhila dehinam antaratmadrit Vikanasarthito Vishwaguptaye Sakhaudevan Satvatam Kule. Sakhaudevan Satvatam Kule. Here it says, you are not actually the son of Gopi Yashoda, O friend, but rather the indwelling witness in the hearts of all embodied souls. Because Lord Brahma prayed for you to come and protect the universe, you have now appeared in the Satvata dynasty. Right? Now, there are various acharyas who have explained this verse in multiple ways. When Sridhar Swami comments, he says that this is, and so it appears from the verse that the gopis are talking in Aishwarya Bhav that, oh, you are not son of Yashoda, but you are the Paramatma within the heart. And so you have appeared to protect the universe. So it seems like they are glorifying Krishna. But the Acharya says, how can they glorify? They are in love and they are angry with Krishna. So what are they actually saying? Can somebody say what is the meaning of the verse? What are they saying? So they are saying, Na khalu gopika nandano bhavan. You cannot be the son of Mother Yashoda because Mother Yashoda is so soft-hearted. She cares for everybody and she feels the distress of everybody. She's so soft-hearted and you are so hard-hearted that you are leaving gopis in the middle of the forest. You cannot be the son of Mother Yashoda. Akhila dehinam antaratmadrik. Who is the most hard-hearted? Oh, it must be, they're jokingly saying. Of course, Paramatma is the most soft-hearted, but they are saying only Paramatma can be so hard-hearted. Why? Paramatma sits in everybody's heart and he sees everybody undergoing pleasure, everybody undergoing trouble, but he doesn't do anything. He just sits as a witness. So, you are like Paramatma. So, you are like hard-hearted like Paramatma. You are not doing, you're seeing our distress, but you are not doing it. But even if you are that, Brahma has called you to appear here to save the universe. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, we are also part of the universe. You have come here to save the universe. We are also part of the universe. So please save us. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that by trick, they are asking Krishna to come there. That you have to save us because you have been called by Brahma and you promised Brahma that you will save. We are also part of the universe. You come. You have to come here to save us. So, in many, many ways, they sing the Gopi Geet, but most importantly, Radharani trains, and all these gopis are trained to do Sankirtan and develop this loving separation for Krishna, and when they completely immerse themselves in remembering Krishna and the pastimes of Krishna in their heart, and the brief they have met with Krishna, that all those things, remembrance churn in their heart, and each gopi starts to play different pastimes of how Krishna has interacted with them, stealing the butter and breaking the pot. Each gopi starts to imitate, and when they pray like that, then Krishna appears. How does Krishna appear? Sakshat Manmada Manmada. And that is also an interesting verse. Let's see if we can see that. That's a so Krishna appears to the gopis, and when Krishna appears to the gopis, he is Sakshat Manmada Manmada. In fact, you will see that one of the reasons for this pastime that is that to defeat the pride of Mada or lust, of Cupid or lust. Cupid was very proud that he has conquered all the living entities in this universe. He has even bewildered Lord Brahma by his tricks. So Cupid thought, I can very easily overcome Krishna also. Krishna is anyway, when I went to Lord Shiva, he was meditating, he got angry. But Krishna is surrounded by so many girls, so I can easily play my tricks. But when he wanted to shoot an arrow, when Krishna was among all these gopis, when he just saw Krishna from the tree, he completely lost his consciousness, because he saw such a beautiful form of Krishna that even the Cupid, Madana, got attracted. So he is Madana Mohana, Krishna. So, and the person who attracts Krishna is Radharani, so she is Madana Mohana Mohini. So here in the verse 10:32, second verse, it says, Tashanavit Bhujishori Syama Yanamukham Bhujaha Pitambaradana Sragvi Sakshat Manmata Manmataha. So here, then Lord Krishna, smile on his lotus face, appears before the gopis wearing a garland and a yellow garment. He directly appeared as one who can bewilder the mind of the Cupid, who himself bewilders the mind of the ordinary people. So, Sakshat Manmada Manmada. I'm sorry, are you see this? So, Krishna appears among them, and because of the lack of the time, we will fast forward. And Krishna, then, when the gopis have understood how to this, so this is the appearance of Krishna. He disappeared and he reappears in front of the gopis. And when they reappear, then their hearts become so much condensed with love that actually this exchange of rasa can happen. So Krishna actually appears for the exchange of rasa, like we discussed. So if he comes for these devotees who are aspiring for conjugal love. They cannot be taken back to Goloka unless you exchange those rasas and that heart-to-heart transfer happens. So he has to come perform his pastimes along with all his associates, Nitya Siddha Gopis. And in association of Nitya Siddha Gopi like Radharani, they develop the love, and now they can enter into Rasa Leela, where actually the reason why Krishna has expanded into Eko Bahunam Yotat Vidata Vikaman, multiple forms, is to exchange this loving sentiments of rasa, and especially the conjugal rasa. So they start exchanging conjugal rasa, and the rasa dance begins. And between each gopi, Krishna is there. Between two gopis, Krishna is there, and Krishna and another gopi, another Krishna. Krishna expands, and the Acharya says he himself rotates, or he himself is there in multiple forms. It's not different Krishna; it is the same Krishna, and he associates with each gopis. And each gopi feels that he or she is associating only with Krishna. Only Krishna is with them, and Radharani and Krishna are in the center. And like this, when Rasa Leela happens, so when the gopis have learned, their hearts have got churned, and they have surrendered to Radharani, and they understand the instructions of Radharani and the glorious position of Radharani, and then by the mercy of Radharani, they come under the pleasure potency, and they are also become part of the pleasure pastimes of Krishna, and thereby they are able to enter Rasa Leela. And after some time, they become very tired, They all sit down, they all, some hang on the shoulders of Krishna and they are lying down. And like that, it happens. And then in the end of the chapter, Parikshit Maharaj asked this question, that how come Krishna is doing these pastimes like this with wives of other men? And Sukdev Goswami clearly replies, and he asked that because other rishis are there. Sukdev Goswami clearly replies that nobody can imitate this pastime. Anybody who tries to imitate this will immediately be vanquished. This is like a child playing with his own reflection, because it is all Krishna's energies and he's playing with his own energies. So there is nothing improprietary here. And anyway, they were married to Krishna only, and this is only a bhava because of the parakya. And so this pastime then happens. Now I'll just spend 5 minutes on something else before I come back to this pastime. So this is the wonderful pastime. In one way, if you see, the conditioned soul gets to the epitome of love for Krishna. And in that, conjugal rasa and exchange rasa with Krishna. Now the question remains, they have gone into so many millions of years, then 10,000 years, then million years, then different pastimes, Govardhan, Chirharan, everything, and then finally they get separated, and then so many million years of pastimes. Now the question is, can we also enter these pastimes? Can we also go to Golok Vrindavan? Can we also participate following in the footsteps of the Gopis? Is it possible for Kali Yuga people like us, especially when Krishna has disappeared 5,200 years ago from this material manifestation? How is it possible for us? What should we do? What is the answer?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. By taking the sharan of Shrimad Bhagavatam, because Shrimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. And if we take the shelter of Shrimad Bhagavatam, then we can really have that.
Yes, that is one answer. And that is also one of the answers that Parikshit Maharaj also hears, that Sukdev Goswami says this Leela of Pancharasya is specifically given so that if somebody hears, then he will develop that conjugal love. So that is definitely there. What is the other answer? Yes,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'll just attempt. So in this Kali Yuga, it may be possible by chanting and purifying ourselves and taking shelter of Guru, so that so Guru is seeing the truth will mold us, so that we can improve ourselves in this process of bhakti one by one. So because the Guru is the one who puts the bhakti lata bija, right? So from there, we can, if we are sincere, means like when we are doing devotion, as said in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anya Bhlashita Shunyam. So at each stage we can attain, means like we can take the shelter of Guru and we can attain the Prema stage. Very correct. That is absolutely perfect thing. That is by chanting and taking shelter of the Guru. Yes, that is very correct. Sudhakar, you were saying something?
Hare Krishna, I'll just try to answer my understanding. You asked the question, is it possible in this Kali Yuga to attain that one? So the answer is yes, because you just mentioned the Krishna appearing into this world or material world is one of this is the purpose, is to set him as a role model for all the aspiring devotees or the qualified devotees to reach the Golok. Otherwise, for him, there is no need for him to come down to the earth and do the Ras Leela. That's what you just explained. So the answer is yes.
That is right.
If you do
the question is that he has already come and he has disappeared. So now, do we have to wait for another 1,000 Chaturyugas before he comes again? If we are developing conjugal love, and then we enter Vrindavan and enter the pastimes, or can we do it in this Kali Yuga?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I answer one time more? The mercy of the devotees also. Mercy of devotees, like pure devotees. If we get the mercy of the pure devotees, we associate them and...
Correct. So actually, while Krishna displayed the Ras Leela, right, and he attracted all the devotees who were aspiring for conjugal laga with the previous thousands of yugas. After Krishna disappeared, it was almost impossible to enter the same Ras Leela, because all the people who will train Radharani and everybody had gone back. So it was very difficult. Of course, the people who are brought us Brajvasis from Hastinapur, they were given a method, but for all others, it was practically impossible. So Krishna saw that the pastime that I have enacted, the previous ones I have delivered, but other people, it will not be possible for them to follow. So he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he didn't come like that. He knew that it can only happen if they get association of Radharani. So he took Radharani's mood, and Radharani's mood is always like the mood of the mother who has lost children. She wants all of them to come back. So he came here with the mode of Radharani to deliver the same love, and he packaged the love within the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There is always the Mahamantra in Kali Yuga, but within this Hare Krishna, there is Krishna Prema. This is special Sankirtan. This is Prem Sankirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave that Prema Sankirtan in the mode of Radharani, and because Radharani was coming, the mode of Radharani was coming, all the other gopis always want to assist Radharani. So they came in male forms, Lalita Saki, Vishaka Saki, Lalita Saki as Swarup Damodar, or Vishaka Saki as Ramananda Rai. They all came to assist. All the gopis are taking male forms and they are coming to assist. And they are spreading this Krishna's love to everybody's heart so that they can recruit these new gopis and take them back to Golok Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is what Prahlad Prabhu said, Unnata Ujjvala Rasam. To give this Unnata Ujjvala Rasam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. That is not available even in Krishna Leela, beyond those who are in the Ras Leela, it is not available. That he gave freely to even the most wretched people in Kali Yuga. That is why is Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namo. Now, even then, it was 500 years before. We were not in the Sankirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But luckily, the Goswamis under Rupa Goswamis encapsulated that same Sankirtan in the books, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur translated them into Bengali, and also Bhaktisiddhanta, his Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj established printing press to publish them as books, and Srila Prabhupada went to the West and translated these books in the English language. And there is another subject matter which I wanted to speak, which we don't have time for. Only by following in the footsteps of Radharani or serving Radharani is it possible to enter this Rasa or Golok Vrindavan. And so Srila Prabhupada prayed when he was in the Boston Pier, the Krishna Tava Punya Highway by. If you read that song, the English translation says, "Oh brothers, take to Krishna consciously, will be auspicious." But one of the meanings that was revealed by one of Prabhupada's disciples was that he's praying to Krishna. "Oh Krishna Tava Punya Highway by. Krishna, for you everything will be auspicious." Why should it be auspicious? Anyway, I'm all auspicious. No, when you fulfill the desire of Radharani, it will be very auspicious. Okay, so what desire of Radharani? It is to deliver all these people, these American people and all of them. How do I know that is Radharani's desire? Because one of the manjaris of one of the followers of Radharani, who? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and he says his desire is very powerful in the next stanza. And it is his desire, and his desire, he has given me the order, and to fulfill his desire, I have come here. So please empower me so that I can serve my Guru Maharaj who is serving Radharani, and thereby you will become all auspicious. So he is praying to Krishna to take him into the service of Radha, or get him empowered. So it's a very beautiful poem right from that. And thereby, Prabhupada establishes ISKCON, which is nothing but service for Radharani. In fact, there is this one of the, I am not naming the people because it is a public lecture. One of the sannyasis has said this in a sannyasi lecture, that he was in Vrindavan and he was thinking a week or so back or previously that ISKCON is all doing this Vaidhi Bhakti. There is no Gopi Seva here, so I should probably go from this temple, go to Radhakund and try and do some Gopi Seva. So he was thinking, and he said, next day morning, I'm going to leave. He thought like that and he was sleeping before he got sannyas. This was. And in the dream, he saw that he's leaving the courtyard of Shri Krishna Balram Mandir of Vrindavan. And at the gate, his Guru Maharaj was standing and he asked, "Where are you going?" In the dream, he seen. He said, "Oh, I am going for some Gopi Seva." So he gave him the danda. He said, "You preach under the direction of Srila Prabhupada, you preach, and that is Gopi Seva, because that is what all the Gopis have come to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all these Manjaris who are our Guru Parampara have come to assist Radharani to take everybody back, which was not possible beyond the Ras Leela. Now that prema is coming to everybody. So this is actually Gopi Seva." And so then he decided not to go, and after a few days he got initiated as in Sannyas Diksha. This happened in his dream, and in his Sannyas Diksha he said that I actually understood that I don't have to go out somewhere. This is actually Gopi Seva. So the point I'm making is, Srila Prabhupada established this ISKCON, where if you are preaching, especially in two things that Anita Mataji said, if you are preaching according to the desire of your Guru Maharaj, preaching doesn't always mean only lecture, distributing books, dressing the deities, all are preaching and somehow attracting souls to Krishna. Even if you dress the deities, you attract souls to Krishna. And you do a good Janmashtami festival, you attract souls to Krishna. If you are doing it as close to the desire of your Guru Maharaj, pleasing your Guru Maharaj, that much you are serving Radharani. And then you are chanting, deeply praying, not just chanting, counting rounds, but deeply praying, "Oh Radhe, oh Krishna, please engage me in your service." If your sadhana goes deep and your desire for serving Guru Maharaj goes deep and both comes together, then this every temple Srila Prabhupada is the Vrindavan, and there is a service which is service to Radharani, like there is in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. After Gopakumar goes to all the worlds, he enters Goloka, then Radharani says, "You do my service, you go and preach to that Mathura Brahman and bring him back." That is when he becomes qualified to really be in the pastimes. So if you are able to attract devotees by any of the methods of preaching, distribution of books, prasadam, lectures, deities, whatever, under the direction, as per the desire, mood and mission of your Guru Maharaj, and you are able to chant deeper and deeper, praying to the Lord, hearing the Hare Krishna mantra, and then from ears going to the heart, into the consciousness, intelligence platform, to the soul platform, finally engulfing yourself. The holy name engulfs your soul. And then the six effects of the holy name starts to manifest. That is the easiest method, even easier than entering the Ras Leela when Krishna was here, of going back and entering Golok Vrindavan. So it is very important that we use this Janmashtami festival and we understand what is our parampara for. Even if we are in any other parampara, we would not be able to aspire. If you're in the other parampara, you can get into Sakha Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, and Shanta Bhav, Dasya Bhav, and Sri Sampradaya, and all of that. But this Madhurya Bhav, especially this Parakya Rasa, is exclusive, is there in this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. And the way to attain it is established by Prabhupada within ISKCON. And ISKCON is the best place to actually follow this Gopi Seva, not sitting in some Radha Kund or sitting, going and here and there, but actually helping the Radharani to recover all these souls, go back. And if you do that, we can enter the same rasa and same Golok Vrindavan effortlessly because of the mercy of Guru and Gauranga than many of these people who have spent millions of years trying and finally could only enter Ras Leela with Krishna. Of course, we also will enter the pastime and then go to Goloka, that is there. But the easiest form of doing that is within ISKCON. And hence, at the conclusion of this chapter, because by doing Guru Seva and Sadhana, this is attainable, Sukhdev Goswami concludes this 33rd chapter by giving 3 blessings. He says that anybody who hears this pastimes of Krishna, how he appeared, disappeared, reappeared in the Pancharatra Adhyay of his dealings with the Gopis and the Ras Leela, they will first enter their root of material lust and desires will get completely vanquished. 2, they will develop a sincere desire to serve Guru and the devotees. That is second. And then they will develop the taste, which is why they develop the taste for service also, taste in the holy names, and develop the same rasa as these devotees. So these three blessings are the falasruti of hearing this pastime. And with that, I know we have gone well beyond time, but we have covered 3 or 4 aspects of why Krishna appears specifically for devotees, and that too specifically for these conjugal devotees. And who are those 6 types of conjugal devotees who entered as new recruits into Vrindavan, how they went through and came to the point of Raslila, and how they got trained by following in the footsteps of Radharani, and finally they entered Raslila. And we also covered how we are most fortunately placed that we are here after 50 years plus of ISKCON, and we have all the facilities to make a garland for Krishna, dance with Krishna, decorate Krishna, do Abhishek with Krishna. All of that is there, and that opportunity especially is there going to be tomorrow in Janmashtami. So if we can take that up and follow the footsteps of mode and mission of Guru and deepen our sadhana, we can enter this Raslega very easily. With that, I stop here. We'll conclude here, and I also beg my forgiveness if in the flow I might have said something which are wrong, which might not be entirely correct. I beg your forgiveness, and if you wish so, you can correct privately or publicly. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm very glad all you devotees have organized such a wonderful thing to hear about the pastimes of Krishna, and we were able to discuss this wonderful appearance, disappearance, and reappearance of Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, Acintya Gopesh Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a very beautiful class, excellent session. Thank you for a very interactive class. You spoke about why Krishna comes in this material world. He comes to establish dharma, to attract people to his pastimes, and also for devotees to train and attract them who want to attain his conjugal love. Without so many devotees, only few special devotees that one they can attain the conjugal love, they get to go back to especially Golok Vrindavan Dham. You also spoke about the 6 sets of gopis who want to attain the conjugal love in such depth and so much details. And in the end, as you mentioned, if we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, take shelter of the lotus feet of our Guru and the association of pure devotees, and of course chant sincerely, never give that up. And the instructions of the Guru is so important. So we can surely one day attain Krishna's prema and enter the Ras Leela. Very excellent session. Thank you so much. Very, very grateful to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We open the forum if you have any questions, or please go ahead and share your realizations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Bol.
Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Very nice class, Prabhuji, and the whole quintessence is to reflect on these 2 slokas Bhagavan Krishna spoke at the end of Bhagavad Gita. He says, Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhagvach abhidhasyati bhaktim mayim param krutva mames. And then say, Nacha tasman manusya se kaschin me prikrita. So you have done excellent service to all of us, Prabhuji. And we all will get blessings of Mother Radharani and Bhagavan Sri Krishna. We'll all also in 11th canto, it says, Yana asthai naru rajan na pramadit karyachit. The bhakti process is such a great instrument. Sripad Radha Govind Swami always says that, this nas palet nas khalet nas patet yati. Even if you with dhavan netra milinyava, even if you are running on this path with eyes closed, you will not fall down and you will reach the destination. So Srila Prabhupada Maharaj has given us such a great mercy. All of us are fortunate for that. And, this explanation which you gave today are excellent. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for all your service. Very good.
And I think you have in 3 words very wonderfully summarized. You gave a clue at the start to Unnada Ujjwala Rasam. I just followed the lead. And now you said Bhakti is Paramam Guhyam, but it is the instrument where you can run blind and still attain Krishna. So this is very wonderful. I think those 3 verses you have summarized the whole thing. Very wonderful. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
Prithvilasini Mataji is thanking you in the chat. She's saying, thank you so much for the wonderful class, full of realizations, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for setting the mood for us for tomorrow, Prabhuji. So grateful to you.
Yes, Sudhakar Prabhu, you have a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful class. Actually, as a small question not related to this one directly, but I just was having this question in mind a couple of days back. Does Radharani love Krishna more or Krishna loves Radharani more?
Uh-huh. Krishna loves Radharani more or Radharani loves Krishna more? Is that the question?
Yeah, I had this thought in a couple of days. I don't know. I just tried to check with you.
No, I think this is explained classically. Now, while it's an impossible question to answer, but it is the Acharyas have explained that this is an infinite, indefinite expansion. So when Krishna sees Radharani, while they have exchanged rasa so much, but when Krishna sees Radharani, his love increases, and as his love increases, his beauty increases. And when Radharani sees that beauty of Krishna, her love increases and her beauty increases. And then that increased love causes Krishna's love to increase and Krishna's beauty to increase. So like this goes on infinitely. So the pastimes are infinite. And the rasa keeps on increasing, There is no limit to it. So at any point in time, you cannot say whether Krishna is having more love or Radharani having more love. But obviously, Radharani is fully in the pleasure potency. So she loves Krishna very intensely. And her love is single pointed to Krishna. And that is what Krishna says to the Gopis, that you all love me so much. And that is in the Raslila, which I missed. He says, I cannot repay. How is that Krishna cannot repay? Because if I have to repay, I have to single-handedly love you. You have given 100% to me, I should give my 100% to you, but I am giving my 100% to everybody else. So mine is bifurcated. I cannot love you with that intensity. So let your love be the price for your own pastimes. So in that sense, the Gopis love Krishna more, but in another sense, this competition keeps on going. Does that answer your question?
At least, I'm not saying I had this doubt. I don't know. That's why I just tried to put this question. Very nicely explained, Prabhuji. Because sometimes in one of the Bhagavatam, we understand that Radharani is the Ladini Shakti of the Lord Krishna himself, right? So from that angle, I got a doubt, about this the love between those two, because everything is the Krishna's potency energy only. Even Radharani or Gopis or whole material world manifest. So one angle, if you see, he does not need any pleasure. He is full of pleasure, but his energy is like this. Is where I got doubt, and then I just tried to put my maybe not a good question, but I just tried to ask you your feeling, and
so
you explained clearly.
Sorry, go ahead. From that perspective, Krishna is Atmarama in the sense that he has all enjoyment within himself. But it can also be explained that he has all energies within himself. When he and his energies are not different, but for Leela, they separate. It seems separate. So when he separates his pleasure potency, and it is from the pleasure potency that all other potencies are coming. All Lakshmis are coming, all the potencies are coming from pleasure potency because he wants to enjoy first his pleasure potency, and then there is all the expansion of other potencies. So all Aishwarya, Shakti, everything comes from the pleasure potency. That is our understanding in our parampara. So it can be said that he doesn't need anything. He has all energies within himself. But when he separates, you can say he needs Radharani and he loves Radharani, and that from that point of view. And the second part is that the energies are fully focused on serving Krishna's desire. So that loving exchange is always there. So in one sense, you cannot separate these two, right? It is almost like asking a question whether you love your heart more or your heart loves you more. So that is a question. The answer is both are the same, right? But in Leela, if you ask the question, the answer is that there is so much about Radharani's love which even Krishna doesn't understand, and he's Rasaraj, and he says that when Radharani looks at me, she gets more love than I have. So he takes the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and takes her mood to understand why she's having more love And what is that love of Radharani? He wants to understand. So in that sense, Radharani loves Krishna more, but otherwise, this is an ever expanding thing. And or in other sense, these are not two different things.
Thank you, Prabhu, so much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else?
Prabhuji, sorry, it's the same Vrindavan Dasa chat. Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Radha Krishna Praniya Prakruti Ahladini Sakti Ekadmai Bhupura Dehe Bedam Gatauto. And that's why he has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they are the same.
Yes, correct.
Chaitanya Prakata. So that's a reference there, which you very nicely elucidated. Thank you, Prabhu.
Very much.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If there are no more questions or realizations, once again, I would like to thank His Grace, Acintya Gopesh Prabhuji, for his beautiful class and for explaining in such depth and details. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association. And thank you for setting the mood for us as we celebrate Janmashtami tomorrow. Very grateful to you and looking forward to your association in the near future. I would like to pay my obeisances to His Grace Acintya Prabhuji and all assembled devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavind ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Katha and Janmashtami Mahotsav ki jai. His Grace Acintya Gopesh Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Hari.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.